So I'm going to present about scientific literacy in the book of The Language of Science Education. In order to understand scientific literacy, so we need to understand first the definition. So scientific literacy is referred to the knowledge and the understanding of scientific concept and the process. And then when we have scientific literacy, people can have some practical decision. They can participate in civic and cultural affairs, and they also can enter science and technology career. So what actually scientific literacy is, some people say scientific literacy is the skill. So what knowledge and skill is widely debated among scientists, like what is scientific literacy, and then what kind of knowledge and skill that they need to have. And then another issue that people and scientists in the field discuss is, does anyone can truly be scientifically literate given the criteria established by others? For example, we as science education, we set something dimension like in scientific literacy. Can we implement that one to other people, like to students? Maybe the generation is different, and then they have the background different. So Shamon in 1994 say, or maybe the definition between one to other is kind of different. What of the skill and then the knowledge that people need to understand if they have scientifically literate is defined by NRC, National Research Council, in 1996. So basically they have 7 knowledge and skill that they need to have. Number 1, scientifically literate person can ask and find answer to everyday question. And then number 2, they can describe, explain, and predict natural phenomena. They also can read with understanding articles about science in the popular press and engage in social conversation. They also can identify scientific issue in underlying national and local decision. They also can express position that are scientifically and technologically involved, like whether they will agree with some issue or they will disagree with some issue. And then second, and then number 6, they can evaluate the quality of scientific information and the basis of its sources and the method used to generate it. For example, we can distinguish between which one hoax, which one is the truth, by using this skill. So number 7, they can pose and evaluate argument based on evidence and apply conclusion from such argument appropriate. So number 7 is more like argumentation. And then plus baby actually is one of the main research, one of the main expert in this field in scientific literacy. So baby in 1997 say plus along with problem solving and critical thinking skill. So not only knowledge and skill, so scientifically literate person need to get along with problem solving and critical thinking skill. The next we will talking about scientific literacy as explained by Baby. So Baby in 1997 they explained something really important. So he say scientific literacy need to see as the continuum. The meaning of continuum here is kind of different with previous one. Like we have a continuum of something in previous, definition, but here continuum is an individual process, not as the end step. For example, scientific literacy need to understand as the breadth and then the depth of the skill and knowledge. So for example, baby here explained that in the breadth, they need to have recognition of vocabulary first. That one is the easier one. And then after that, they can have conceptual understanding, more complex. And then finally, and then it's not final also, maybe we can add more as the continuum, which is contextual understanding is also not an end state of the breadth of scientific literacy. So we have here recognition of vocabulary, the easy one. Conceptual understanding is getting much complex, and then conceptual understanding is more complex and then more challenging. And then in a depth, also baby explained uh, first the easy one is understanding the scientific concept, and then move to scientific inquiry, and then the last baby say process of science. So scientific literacy is continuum, they have depth, they have breadth. So that is the continuum in baby research. So the last part in this definition is about model of scientific literacy, which is proposed by Baby in 1997. So Baby said, a model of scientific literacy achieved throughout a lifetime. So not only one time through one task in the class. So model of scientific literacy is lifetime study. So it's starting by something called nominal literacy, and then functional literacy, and then conceptual and procedural literacy, and then multidimensional literacy. And nominal literacy itself is an understanding of basic concept, but with many inaccurate views and misconceptions about science. And then functional literacy, they can read and write passage with simple scientific vocabulary. Then conceptual and procedural literacy, they can understand the structure of discipline and the procedure for developing new knowledge and technique. And then multidimensional literacy, they can understand the relationship of discipline to the whole of science and technology and to society. So it is getting more complex throughout the lifetime, starting from nominal literacy and then end up in multi-dimensional literacy. Thank you so much for your attention.